जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदा नंदना जय व्रज जन रंजना। जय जामुना तीरावनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी। जय जामुना तीरावनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय राधा गिरिगोवर्धनधारी राधा गिरिगोवर्धनधारी राधा जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अस्तोत्र श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna everyone. So welcome to Brisbane Bhakti Yoga Hare Krishna Temple Sunday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So we are continuing on reading the Damodar pastimes and we are at the beginning verses of the 10th chapter of the 10th canto. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyata Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutair Mahadvir Yahima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamushu Purusha Bhumte Gunam Shodashatmaka Solam Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Sadatapi Pratam Bhakti Vedanta Margapantanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. So I think we had left at text number 7, so we can go to text number 7. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Tau Drishtva Madira Matto Tau Drishtva Madira Matto Shri Madandho Suratmajo Shrimadando Suratmajo Tayor Anugraharthaya Shapam Dasyannidam Jago Shapam Dasyannidam Jago. Translation by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Seeing the two sons of the demigods naked and intoxicated by the opulence and false prestige, Devarishi Narad, in order to show them special mercy, desired to give them a special case. Thus he spoke as follows. So we had already covered this verse, but we'll again look at it. Word to word, Tau, the two boys of the demigods, Drashtva, seeing. So Narad Muni is seeing this. What is their condition? Madira Matto. Madira means liquor, and Matto means intoxicated. Matto also means mad. So one who drinks Madira, the liquor, eventually becomes intoxicated with madness. And then on top of that, Shrimad Andho. So there is gross intoxication, and then on top of that, Shri means wealth, and mother means also intoxication, and mother also means what? Pride. So there is intoxication of pride of wealth, being blind with false prestige and opulence. So Shrimad Andho. Andho means blind. Who? Sura Atmajo. Sura means demigods, and Atmajo means the two sons of the demigods. Tayoho, onto them, Anugraha Arthaya. But Narad Muni was very merciful to them. Anugraha. Meaning of Anugraha is merciful. Even though they did not deserve. So this is the quality of a Vaishnava. In third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned, and later on it will be quoted here. Please repeat. It's very nice verse. Titikshava karunikaha Suhridau sarvadehinam. So Titikshava means tolerant. A devotee's foremost quality is that the devotee is very tolerant. He is able to tolerate all kinds of adversities that come his way. Why is he able to do that? How come? Is he mad? Prahlad Maharaj gives us a bit of a clue. He says, Naivodvijay paraduratyaya vaitaranyas. He said, "Oh my Lord, I do not wish to cross over this miserable ocean of birth and death." Why? He says, Vadviryagaya namahamritamagna chittaha. Because I am fully absorbed in singing your glories, hearing your glories. I'm magna chitta. Magna chitta means consciousness is fully absorbed in Krishna. So if we really want to be tolerant, like motivational speakers, when we hear, they say, oh, one has to be tolerant, one has to be enthusiastic. But just by saying that or hearing that, it doesn't happen like that. I mean, I may be able to speak so much on tolerance and stuff, but if I go outside from here and someone gives me a tight slap, how much I am tolerant will actually come out. But one who is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then he is already situated on a higher platform although he's undergoing that miserable condition, he's not feeling it, because his absorption is magna chittaha. His chitta is magna in virya gayana, in singing the glorious activities of Krishna. So Narad Muni is like that. Wherever he goes, Narad Muni is always accepted. So we see Narad Muni goes to demons. Demons also welcome Narad Muni. Why? Because they know he will not ask for anything. He doesn't have any material desires. He will come, say sweet words, glorify their lordships, and then he'll go away. He doesn't stay for long. He said a guest should not stay too long in one place. Narad Muni is like that. And he goes to demigods as well. There also he is welcome like that. But hardly Narad Muni curses anyone. Does anyone remember if Narad Muni has cursed anyone? Yeah, apart from these two. No. So it's indeed a great question that why Narad Muni cursed these two. And especially here we say, actually he cursed anugraha arthaya. For the arthaya means for the purpose of anugraha, to bestow mercy upon them. Shapam. No, shapam, shrap. It's like I curse you. Dasyan, desiring to offer them idam, this jago, uttered. I was hearing the lecture, and this word, last word here, jago, Prabhupada translates as uttered. It also means sung. So if someone is angry, they won't sing a song. They will actually just in a very angry mode curse. Durvasa Muni is very famous for this, anger and curse. But here Narad Muni is just very casually, just jugo, he uttered, this curse. But why he uttered this curse, he actually goes through the explanation in the following verse that will enable us to understand the enormous great mercy of Narad Muni. We are looking at that verse. A devotee like Narad Muni is titikshava. Titikshava means tolerant. And because he is tolerant, he can be merciful. So therefore, titikshava follows karunikaha. Titikshava karunikaha. And because he is tolerant, he can be merciful. And his mercy is not restricted only to few individuals here and there. His mercy is for everyone. Therefore it is said, Suruhida Sarvadehinam. What does Suruhida mean? What does it say there? Friendly. Suruhida also means well-wisher. Krishna uses this word in Bhagavad Gita. Bhoktaram yagna tapsam sarvalokum maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam. So he is in everyone's heart, and he is a suhrit, he is a well-wisher. So similarly, a saint like Narad Muni is a well-wisher of everyone, and thus is a friend of everyone. A friend always wishes well for his friend. And Sarva is very significant. It's for all living entities. And because he has this quality of tolerance, mercy, without reservation to everyone, he is Ajata Shatrava. Ajata Shatrava means, Jata means born, Ajata means unborn. So his Shatrava, enemy, is never born. One of Yudhishthira Maharaj's name is Ajata Shatrava. It is said when Duryodhana used to come to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Yudhishthira Maharaj used to welcome him so nicely, genuinely, sincerely, from his heart, that for a little moment Duryodhana used to forget, oh, he's my enemy. So similarly, our conduct actually should be like this, that we are part and parcels of the Lord. Other living entities, they are also part and parcel of the Lord, and thus we are connected in this great family of Krishna. And Krishna becomes so pleased when we deal with other living entities with respect, with dignity, and give them the due honor and respect, and always with a friendly attitude, and always being merciful to them. If we cannot do anything, doesn't matter, at least if we can smile and speak nicely. One of the favorite verses of my Guru Maharaj was Priya Vakya Pradhanena. Priya Vakya Pradhanena means speak sweet words. And in this way, Santushta Sarva Jantavaha. All the living entities, by hearing the nice sweet words, they become very satisfied. We may not be able to give everything to everyone, but if we smile and speak sweetly and nicely, because actually in this world, especially in Kali Yuga, everyone is frown-faced, no one smiles, no one speaks nicely. So people become surprised if someone speaks nicely. Our Sakirai Prabhu is a great example, he's always smiling, always speaking nicely, always welcoming everyone. So this is one of the qualities of Lord Rama, that he's always has a smile on his face, and he always speaks sweetly and nicely. He says Satya Vachaha. He speaks truth, and on top of that, Priya Vadaha. He speaks sweet words, and on top of that, he is Paramavadaha, means that as soon as he sees someone new, he will be the first person to go and speak to them. He won't wait if that person comes, then I'll speak. So for devotees, this is very important, because we want to give message of Krishna consciousness to everyone. So the onus is upon us to spread the mercy and speak first. That is, personally, one of the very big challenges for me, because by nature I'm introvert. Although when I sit here it may not seem so, but I'm very introvert. So when I see someone new, naturally, I have like bit of reservation. But when I remember Lord Rama, like how he also, Lord Rama's quality also is he's introvert, but still he's the first one to break the ice. So in this way, Ajata Shatrava, no enemy is born, meaning they may regard you as enemy, but in our hearts, we don't regard anyone as enemies. And what follows is Shanta. Shanta means peace. Yesterday's class was about peace. Then we'll be peaceful. And why is being peaceful so important? One person, sorry. Yeah.
Then we can think of Krishna.
Exactly. Then we can properly think of Krishna, chant of Krishna, hear Krishna's pastimes. Otherwise, we'll be occupying our mind rent-free. Our Guru Maharaj used to say, why to give other people a rent-free space in our minds? Only Krishna should be there. But Krishna will be there only when all these 5 qualities are there. Tirikshava, tolerance, Karunika, being merciful, Sruhida, Sarvadehina, well-wisher of all, and then Ajata Shatrava, that person's enemy is not born, and because he has no enemy, he is always peaceful in mind, Shanta. And such a person is Sadhavaha. Sadhavaha means abiding by the scriptures. He is always following the scriptures, abiding by the scriptures. So only thing we have to do, if we can get somehow the other this discipline, and I'm very grateful, to my spiritual master, because he practically taught me how to bury my head in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Any adversities come, if you just open up Srimad Bhagavatam and just read any page, immediately you'll find solution to all problems. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, abiding by the scriptures. And this is Sadhu Bhushanam. This is the Bhushanam adorned with sublime characteristics, means the decoration of a devotee. This is the actual decoration of a devotee, these 5 qualities. Many qualities are there, 26 qualities in total of a devotee is described in Nectar of Devotion, but these 5 constitute the primary ones. So Narad Muni is like that. And the reason for his case, he is be explaining in the following ways. So I'll just read the last few sentences of the paper. That when a father finds his child deeply asleep, but the child has to take some medicine to cure some disease, the father pinches the child so that the child will get up and take the medicine. Of course, the pinch is very painful. But still, for the benefit of child, the father does that. In a similar way, Narad Muni cares Nalkuvar and Manigriv in order to cure their disease of material blindness. So they were twofold, blindness was there. One, intoxication of liquor, and the other, intoxication due to pride of wealth. Sura Atmajo, Shri Madan Andho, and Mandira Matto. Not Mandira, sorry, Madira. We'll go to the next verse, text number 8. Srinarada Uvacha Nahi Anyo Jushato Joshyan Buddhi Bhramsho Rajogunaha Shrimadad Abhijat Yaddir Shrimadad Abhijat Yadir Yatra Stridhyutamaasavaha Yatra Stridhyutamaasavaha. Would anyone like to sing? Shri Narada Uvacha Nahi Anyo Jushato Joshyan Buddhi Bhramsho Rajoguna Srimadad Abhijatyadi Yatra Stridhyutamaasavaha. Shri Narada Uvacha Nahi Anyo Joshato Joshyan Buddhi Bhramsho Rajogunaha Shrimadad Abhijatyadi Yatra Sridhyutamaasavaha. So word to word. Shri Narada Uvacha. Narada Muni said, Na, there is not. He, indeed. Anyaha, another material enjoyment. Jushataha, of one who is enjoying. Joshyan, things very attractive in the material world. different varieties of eating,
different varieties of eating,
sleeping,
sleeping,
mating,
mating,
and defense.
and defense.
Buddhi Bhramshaha.
Buddhi Bhramshaha.
Such enjoyments
Such enjoyments
attract the intelligence.
attract the intelligence.
Rajaha Gunaha.
Rajaha Gunaha.
Being controlled by the mode of passion.
Being controlled by the mode of passion.
Shrimadat.
Srimada.
Then riches.
Then riches.
Abhijatyadihi.
Abhijatyadi.
Among the four material principles,
Among the four material principles,
attractive personal bodily features,
attractive personal bodily features,
birth in aristocratic family,
birth in an aristocratic family,
being very learned,
being very learned,
being very rich,
and being very rich.
yatra,
Yatra.
wherein, stri, woman, dyutam, gambling, asavaha, wine, wine, woman, and gambling
Wine, women, and gambling
are very prominent.
are very prominent.
Translation by His Loving Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Narad Muni said, among all the attractions of material enjoyment, the attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in aristocratic family, and being learned. When one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, as a result, the result is that one engages his wealth in enjoying wine, woman, and gambling. Purport. Would anyone like to read the purport?
Among the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, people are certainly conducted by the lower qualities, namely passion and ignorance, and especially by passion. Conducted by the mode of passion, one becomes more and more involved in material existence. Therefore, human life is meant for subduing the modes of passion and ignorance and advancing the mode of goodness. This is culture. One must subdue the modes of passion and ignorance. In the mode of passion, when one is falsely proud of wealth, one engages his wealth only for three things, namely wine, woman, and gambling. We can actually see, especially in the age, that those who are unnecessary riches simply try to enjoy these three things. In Western civilization, these three things are very prominent because of an unnecessary increase of wealth. Narada Muni considered all this in the case of Manigriva and Kuvara because he found in them so much pride in the wealth of their father Kuvera.
So yes, again, we mentioned in the last sentence, the crux of everything is there. Narad Muni considered all this in the case of Manigriva and Nalakubera because he found in them so much pride in wealth of their father Kuvera. So if you look at word to word, here it is said nahi. So when I was reading this verse, I remembered my boarding days. We used to live together, all students, and of course when any bills used to come, we used to have to share the bill. And we had a Sindhi guy living with us. And as soon as we used to mention to him, Prabhu, bill has come, electricity, and in a dramatized way, he would say, nahi. And so this is what Narad Muni is doing here. Nahi anya. So na means no, he means certainly. So it's emphasized. What is emphasis here? That there is four kinds of opulences that cause pride in us. So Kunti Maharani says, Janma Ishvarya Shruta Sribhir Edamana Madha Puman. Again, this word madha is used. Madha means pride or intoxication of pride, which causes madness. So Janma means good birth. So people can be proud. Born, in a good aristocratic family, rich family. Aishwarya means like they're very famous or beautiful. Famous basically. And then Janma Aishwarya Shruta. Shruta means learning, very educated, doctor, professor, and Shribhir. Shri means wealth. So out of these four kinds, sorry Mataji?
Prabhu, I got the two, I didn't get the other two. Very educated, wealth.
Family, yeah. Janma, good birth, born in a royal family. So Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhir Eda Manaha Madaha Pumam. It causes intoxication. Like someone born in a good family, they have their heads in the cloud. Someone who's very beautiful, it is actually scientifically, study has shown that they can get away with anything, because people just have tendency that if someone's very beautiful, then they cannot do anything wrong. And then learning, intoxication of learning, that's there, great. And then wealth. So out of all this, what is the worst? Wealth. This is what Narad Muni clearly says here. Nahi anya. Anya means all others, but amongst all others, just the Joshyan, buddhi bhramsho. It causes the eclipse of intelligence. It causes the fogginess of intelligence when one is suffering from the pride of wealth. Buddhi bhramsho rajo gunaha. And here Prabhupada in the paper emphasizes on this raja guna. Raja guna means that person is always craving. Even though so much wealth is there, he's craving because he's using that wealth for material enjoyment. Especially when wealth is not used in the right way, and especially when wealth is not earned in the right way and by hard work. What is the result? The result is that the person doesn't have value for money. Bhakti Rasayanand Sagar Swami was telling this story, real story. In UK, there was this very rich person, and he had the only son. And because of being so much busy in his business affairs, he did not pay attention to the proper upbringing of his son. But when his son was older, the father realized his mistake. My son is going in the wrong direction. So one day he called the son and he said, son, I'm sorry. I have been a terrible father. I have not looked after you well. I haven't given and instilled, nice moral principles into you. I'm very sorry for that, but I want to mend my ways. And for that, I need you to do certain things. So firstly, you have to go out and start working. The son thought, what's up with father? So much money is there, why should I work? So the son just dismissed it. The father said, at the end of the month, I want you to come and give me your salary. So the son went out, and father reminded him, and then it occurred to him, oh no, my father is serious. So what he did, he borrowed some money from his friends and he came back. And he said, oh, this is my salary. And the father took the money, saw the money, counted the money, and threw the money into the fire. There was a fireplace. UK is very cold, so they light fire. So he threw it in the fire. The son just stood there like a statue, without any emotion. The father understood, this is not his money. And the father scolded him and said, you've lied to me. Now I'm giving you one more chance. Please go out, find work, and at the end of the month, please give me your salary. The son again did not take it so seriously, and he repeated the same thing again. Gave the borrowed money to the father. Father threw it in the fire, and the son again, without any emotion, just stood there. But this time the father became mad. He in such a harsh way spoke to the son and said, in no uncertain terms, my son, you are out of this house and you are out of my business, out of my will. If this time you don't earn money, find work. The son was wondering, how come my father knows? But then the son became serious. He goes, no, he means business. So he went out and found some menial work and worked hard throughout the month. At the end of the month, he came and gave the salary to the father. And in the same way, the father again saw the money, counted, and threw it in the fire. But this time, the son became mad. He started shouting at the father, and he went to the fireplace, and he started putting hands in the fire, at the same time shouting that, oh, this is my money, I've worked so hard for it, and you are just throwing it away in the fire. What was the difference between the first and the last time?
It was his reaction.
Reaction. Why did he react that way?
First one was not the hard-earned money, but the last one was his hard-earned money. Like he know how he got that money, so he know what was the pain and what he went through to get that money.
So he realized the value of money, isn't it? Yes. So similarly, unless the money is hard earned, we don't realize the value of it. And in Western countries, because the money is available so freely and without hard work, even credit is available so easily, there is artificial inflation, and all this because it's not hard earned. Now remember, these two were not working, Nal Kuber and Manigriv. They are sons of who? Kuvera. And who is Kuvera? Treasurer of the demigods. Treasurer means he has access to all the wealth. Therefore, these two are addressed as Dhana Atmajo, the spoiled sons of rich parent. And so they don't know the value of money. Therefore, where the money goes? Yatra, Stri, in womanizing, Dyutam, in gambling, and Asava, in drinking wine, drinking alcohol. Now these three vices get the person down. Now out of these three vices, which is the worst one? Drinking. All three are bad. Drinking. Yes, drinking. My Guru Maharaj tells this humorous story that once there was a brahmachari in the village, and he was sitting and doing his chanting activity. Chanting. It's gone. Is there a connection between the bottle and this? There's no alcohol in here, I can assure you. So he's a handsome guy, and a young girl from the village was attracted to him. So she used to come to him every day and try to, impress him and get his attention. But he was, staunch. in his determination. No, spiritual life is all I want, So this is what Prabhupada used to say. All boys should remain unmarried, all girls should get married. And then the management asks, how can that be possible? Because that's your problem to fix. But anyway, that's topic on its own self. So this boy, was very determined, and the girl was getting frustrated. So one day the girl came with a goat, with alcohol, and she said to the boy that, look, today you have to do one of the three things. You either drink alcohol, you kill the goat and eat, or you get married to me. And then the brahmachari said, what about none of the above? So she said, no, that's not an option. If you do that, then I'll commit suicide. So brahmachari got a bit of a shock. So he started analyzing that, okay, if I kill the goat, it's not a good option. It's jiva himsa. Killing someone is no good. It's violence. So he crossed that option out. If I get married to her, my life will be spoiled. So that's not a good option. I'll cross that one out. But if I drink, then I lose my sobriety for a little while. I'll be drunk a little while. But after that, I'll be okay. So that option seems probable. If I don't do anything, she'll commit suicide. And, that sin will come to me. This is what he thought. So that is not a good option as well. So he said, okay, now let's drink. So they both drank, they got drunk. In their drunkenness, they killed the goat, ate the goat, and got married. So Bhagavad Gita explains there is 8 steps to fall down. Dhyayato vishaya pumsam. Let's look at this. Please repeat. Dhyayato vishaya pumsam. When we meditate on any sense object, vishaya, then what happens? Sangateshu pajayate. Then we desire association of that thing. If you keep meditating, I want this, I want this. Someone's got Tesla. I want the Tesla. I want the Tesla. Meditate. When you sleep, or Tesla. Wake up, or Tesla. Then we develop, fondness to it, association to it. That's called sangat. Sangat teshu pajayate. And then we can't think of anything else. What happens from that association? Sangat sanjayate kama. So from that, lust develops. Sangat sanjayate kama. And lust develops, but we can't have Tesla because my salary is not high enough. And then what happens? We become angry. Why can I have? If you can have, then after a little while using Tesla, it's no more, what do you call? Privilege or excited, become dull. We can't get any pleasure out of it. So then we want more, something better. So that is lobha. But then you keep running after lobha, there will come a time, in economic terms, this is called the law of diminishing marginal utility. Those who have done economics, they know. What does that mean? Like, I like gulab jamun very much. Okay, I shouldn't have said that because now everyone will. Now I cannot have that much gulab jamun because if I have 1, 2, immediately my body doesn't But in my younger days, gulab jamun, one whole bowl, no problem. I remember we went to my elder brother was getting married. So to see the girl, my parents sent me along as well. So they served gulab jamun and they gave 2 gulab jamuns in a bowl. And so I, usually I just grab it, but I was very patiently having it, have to make them some deco, it's not that, these guys are greedy, look at how they're eating. So I thought, they'll ask some more, so the person asked, do you want more? So I thought, we've come here for marriage thing, so just say no, and they'll ask again, and then I'll say yes, and then they'll give me. So I said no, and they never asked again. I learned then one thing, you never be shy when it comes to food. And never be shy when it comes to bhajan. These 2 things we should never be shy. So sangat sanjayate kamat krodha. If you don't get it, you become angry. Then the next one, krodhat bhavati sammoha. The next verse. Please repeat. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. One becomes angry, they can't think what is right or what is wrong. They are completely bewildered. And then in that condition, sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Their remembrance, smriti means remembrance. Their remembrance, whatever they have learnt, goes down the drain. They lose it. The anger just overtakes everything. Anger causes bewilderment. Bewilderment causes loss of memory. And then smriti bhramshad buddhinasho. When memory is lost of the ability to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong, then buddhinasho. There goes your intelligence, down the drain. So here, this is what Narad Muni says. Nahi anyod jushato joshyan buddhi bhramsho rajogunad. The buddhi is bhram, completely, they are not able to distinguish. Smriti bhramsad buddhinasho. And when buddhinasho, what happens? Buddhinashad pranashyati. Buddhinasha pranashyati, that's the fall down of the living entity. It's completely gone. He just no hope. So these 8 steps of fall down, Bhagavad Gita explains. Dhyayato vishaya punsam sangasteshu pujayate sangat sanjayate kamat krodho vijayate krodhat bhavati sammohat smriti vibhrama smriti bhramsad buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. But guess what happens to one who drinks liquor, alcohol? Long jump. He's an Olympic gold medalist. Straight from top to down. Therefore, when one has to do some wrong things, or when some wrong thing has to be done, the peer pressure is always, have a drink. You'll get courage to do. Now, of course, in modern world, being drunk is being, romanticized. I remember, when I first came to Australia, at that time, in 87, the Prime Minister, who was it? Remember? 87? Bob Hawke. And he was the beer drinking champion of the Oxford University. And not only that, while he was the Prime Minister, he had alcohol issues. He had to undergo so many times what they call rehabilitation. He had so many issues. Just imagine this kind of person leading not a family, a whole country. So his ministers used to say, we actually stood up for him. So this is what the modern day is, It's wine, woman, gambling. So one who is intoxicated with the pride of wealth, the intoxication and the madness is so much that if you try to explain to them, so this is what Narad Muni's thought is, and he will explain in the future verses, but I thought we'll just mention it here, that if someone has a lot of money and you tell, oh son, please don't do this. You are son of Kuvera, demigod. Your father is a great devotee of the Lord. And you are behaving in such an unbecoming manner. You are in Ganges river, which is so pure, it's worshipable, and you are drinking liquor there. And not only that, you are naked, associating with apsaras. This is so unbecoming of you. Firstly, they are drunk. They won't understand. If they are not drunk of liquor, they are intoxicated by pride of wealth. So anyone who's got money, and if you try to tell them something, oh son, this is no good, don't do it like this, they'll say, hey, who you to tell me? I have so much wealth, I can do anything I want. Money brings power, and power corrupts absolutely. So just imagine, yesterday we were mentioning, now when I was teaching children, teenagers in GGG, we were covering these verses. So just imagine the teenagers from, tender age from 11 to 16, we are giving this education to them, that stay far away from these things. And actually it has been proven. I remember in America when Barack Obama was elected, then he used to, he introduced giving money to churches and religious organizations because there is direct statistical proof that those who have some spiritual background or some religiosity, then they don't have issues with gambling, they don't have issues with drinking, they don't have, their moral principles are at higher level. And guess what? Government spends so much money in alcohol rehabilitation, in gambling rehabilitation, and the families are destroyed when the senses are not controlled. I have experienced even in my not too distant relations that this person he actually had a very good job, was a chartered accountant in one of the departmental stores. He was managing for the whole state, and somehow he got into gambling, and he just couldn't control himself. And because he was in charge of money, writing, making payments, he started issuing false invoices and transferring money to himself. And it ended up in almost $1 million. And eventually the auditors caught up and he was arrested. And he ended up in jail. The whole family was basically destroyed. So, and the government, you see, they'll allow the advertisements, on televisions, and then they'll say, there's more chances of you losing than winning. In the cigarette packets, also they'll say it's injurious to your health.
Gambling is responsible. Gambling responsibility, drink responsibility.
There's no such thing as, because with these things, you do little bit, you are sucked into it. So if you want to have intoxication, Bhagavatam says no problem. Have intoxication, but have intoxication of Srimad Bhagavatam. Directly, he actually says that. I think Kardam Muni in one of the verses says, please, you can repeat after me, very nice verse. Lokam cha lokanugatam pasumscha sorry, lokams, cha, no, C-A. Yeah, it will come, I think. Yes, that's it, first one. Lokamscha lokanugatan pasumscha. So lokams, the whole world out there is going in the wrong direction, and we are seeing it, and if you don't know any better, we'll also, anugatam means we'll follow them. Everyone wants to follow. But that is like pashum, it's like animal kind of life. Pashum, it's beastly. This Prabhupada translates beastly, isn't it? Pashum is beastly. Lokamscha lokanugatan pasumscha. What we have to do? Hitva. We have to give up such, idolism, such idolizing. And then do what? Hitva shritaste charanata patram. So we give them up, and then what we do? Shritas. Shritas means take shelter. Take shelter of who? Lotus feet. Charana. Charana means lotus feet. And Krishna's lotus feet here is very nicely described as Atapatram. Atapatram means umbrella. So Prabhupada in the paper very nicely writes that, when there's too much heat, there's rain, if we are under the umbrella, then we are protected. So similarly, one who is under the shelter of the umbrella of the lotus feet of Krishna, he is protected from the scorching heat and the cold rains of the cycle of birth and death. So the problem is there. What is the problem? Lokamscha lokanugatan pasumscha. This is the problem. People don't know any better, and the blind follows the blind, and it's beastly. And the solution is Hitva shritaste charanata patram. We have to give that up and take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, which is like an umbrella protecting us from the cycle of birth and death. And in the third line, he tells us how this will be possible. Parasparam tvad gunavadasidu. Parasparam. Parasparam means, what does it say there? With one another. Like we are doing now. With one another. They say austerity by one. Austerity means if we do any tapasya, penance, then we don't, drag everyone in it. We do it ourselves. Study by two. Study by two. When you have to study, the best way to study, at least 2 persons, minimum. More, maybe better, but then you can diverge in gossiping and this and that, but 2. And music by? But minimum. Look here. 1, 2, 3. Kartal. That's all you need. Mridaga, harmonium, kartal. Music by 3. And war by? Many. If you have to go to war, you have to get as much as possible. So parasparam, with one another. This is what, because we are learning this, and we are, repeating parasparam. Tvad and gunavad. Guna means qualities, vad means discussion. The discussions we are having on qualities of Krishna. And it is what? It is Sidhu. Sidhu, what translation is there? Intoxicating nectar. So one who drinks this Bhagavatam Ritam, therefore Vyasadeva says, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasavalaya, this has to be drunk through the channel of ears. This this intoxication has two advantages. It does not cost money and you will always remain high. That intoxication you have, you lose money, you lose your mind, and when you become sober, you'll have a headache. What is a hangover it is called? And your life is spoiled. But this intoxication, actually, you become happy. Last forever. That's why, like when, in the earlier days, the Americans, they were addicted to, ecstasies. They used to, So, and when the devotees, they started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And they literally could experience, no, actually this keeps us high. And that is true. It actually, if you really dwell deep in Bhagavatam, like Prabhupada has taught us, and really concentrate on chanting of Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, you will realize that you are in a completely different strata. And Prabhupada says that this chanting of the Mahamantra is on the spiritual strata, surpassing sensual, mental, and intellectual levels of consciousness. So what better way to get intoxicated than this? Then what is the result? Nirya piyusha niryapita deha dharma. So one who drinks this intoxication, piyusha, it's the nectar, niryapita, it extinguishes deha dharma, primary necessities of the body. Usually the dharma cannot be defined. The dharma of body is what? It feels hungry, it feels thirsty, it grows old, it will decay, it will die eventually. But if the consciousness of soul is not on the level of deha, the body, then the person will be experiencing beyond the bodily consciousness. So guess what? He will surpass and gain victory over death. Devotee will not die, he will gain victory over death, not to be born again. This is the solution. See, such a nice verse. In the first line, problem is given. In the second line, solution is given. In the third line, method is given. And in the fourth line, result is given. Just one verse. Even if this one verse we can understand and put practice in our life, this is enough. What to speak of 18,000 verses filled of gems. So Narad Muni therefore says that even if I try to explain to them, they will not understand. Therefore, he does further diagnosis. I think we'll leave it there. Today much service is to be done. So we'll continue tomorrow morning at 6:30 in the Zoom sessions, the next verse. Any questions or any comments? Yes, very good, Prabhuji. So this is connected to the 4 regulative principles that we have. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit affairs. The reason for this is this. It's explained here. And especially the wealth, if it is not hard-earned, we won't know the value of it. And what is one of the main themes of Damodar pastime? Last week's verse we memorized. Yeah, we remember the verse? Yes, Mandi. Sing and let everyone repeat.
Swama tu swinnegat
Swamatu Svinnagatraya Visrasta Visrasta Kavarasrajaha Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripayasit Svabandhane. So Drishtva Parishramam Krishna. So Mother Yashoda was trying hard. And Krishna, seeing Mother Yashoda was trying hard, Drishtva Kripaya, then his mercy flowed. And Krishna became Swabandhane. He agreed to be bound. So, you know that story I told, that son who went out to earn money. When did he realize the value of money?
When it was burning.
When he worked hard.
Yeah.
Then he realized the value of money. So that means when we work in devotional service hard, what do we have to do? Parishram. You know, the 5 synonyms we have looked at. You remember?
Yeah.
Parishram. Yatantaha, very good. So, yatantaha in relation to chanting. So, we have to endeavor to chant even. So, Krishna in 9.14 says, Satatam kirtayanto mam. Kirtayanto means chanting. Satatam, always. How? Yatantascha. Yatantaha means we have to endeavor. We have to work hard for it. When we work hard, then we'll know the value of the holy name. If we don't work hard, we don't know the value of Hare Krishna mantra. Because our father is very rich. Who is our father? Srila Prabhupada. And who is, he's following the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said very nicely that Apanakari asvadan sikhaila bhaktagane. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to be drunk in intoxication of just chanting the holy name. And he used to chant Hare Krishna and dance in ecstasy. And anyone who came across him, they also started chanting and dancing like this. So Apane Kari Asvadan, he himself was tasting the nectar of the holy name. Shikhaila Bhaktagana, and he was also teaching this art to the devotees who came in connection to him. Apane Kari Asvadan Shikhaila Bhaktagane Prema Chintamani Prabhudhani. Prema Chintamani. Prema means love. Love of Godhead. Chintamani means like a touchstone. So anyone who came in association of Mahaprabhu, they also got infected with love of Krishna. Why? Because Mahaprabhu himself was personification of love of Krishna. And therefore he was dhani. Dhani means wealthy, rich. Prema Chintamani Prabhu Dhani. And what was he doing? Nahi jane sthana sthana jare kaira dana. He did not say, oh, this person is qualified, this person is not qualified. Anyone and everyone who came across, he gave them Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Mahaprabhu Data Shiromani. So Kaviraj says that therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the greatest capitalist. He's giving out, he's opened up the treasure box of the chanting of the holy names. And we have inherited that. We have the holy name, we have inherited that. But like that rich man's son, we will only know the value of that holy name when we work hard to chant. So Krishna says, this is the secret of Bhagavad Gita. This verse appears in the 351st verse of the Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. And this, the middle of 700 is what? 350 and 351, because it's a total is even number, so the middle has to be two numbers. So both verses from the secret of Bhagavad Gita. So the verse before 50 we'll study sometime, but the 51st verse, which is the middle of Bhagavad Gita, gives us this secret. What is that? Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always we have to chant Hare Krishna. And how we do it? Yatantascha dhradavrataha. 9:14, Mataji. Yatantascha dhradavrataha. Now this is practical application of the Damodar Lila pastime. Yatantaha means endeavor. So it's not, just chant, okay, casually. No, we have fixed number of rounds. If you go to the gym, you have to do if you get personal trainer, they'll tell you, you have to, let's say, 40 kgs of bench press you do. You have to count 1, 2, 3, and then after 10, okay, they said, take a rest. And then again, after bit of rest, you do it again. Why that counting is there? Benefit. But how is that beneficial though?
To check how much we have performed.
Yes, it's a barometer to mark our performance. Because what happens, sometimes people say, I chant all the time. But whether we chant all the time or not, when we actually chant in the beads, then we come to know whether we are chanting all the time or not. Because what happens, I remember, first time I chanted on the beads, my condition was so bad. I was sweating like anything, because not used to it. So you may have had that experiences, I don't know. We are not used to it. And also the sins don't allow us to chant, because when we chant, the sins get destroyed. So that is also an obstacle. So at first, when you put some weight in, there is more effort. But as you do more and more, not only it becomes effortless, but you grow strength to lift higher weights. So similarly in chanting, at first it may be difficult, but still if you carry on keeping the barometer of chanting, counting, then you develop more spiritual muscles. And that spiritual muscles will allow you to chant more and more and more. And for this, you have to do endeavor. So if you can look, Satatam kirtayanto mam. Yatantascha dhradavrataha. So if you look at the word to word, yatantaha means they are fully endeavoring also. And how? With great determination. With determination. So when our chanting is with the determination, we are endeavoring. This is parishram. And Krishna is saying, Drishtva parishramam Krishna. And then he becomes obliged to us. Oh, my devotee is trying, he is earnest. So that's trying in chanting. And then the fourth one was?
So the three words were first Prayatala, Yatanta, Cheshtitam, so on's endeavor. And the first one that you gave, 1.2.8, is what is the use of work?
That's the, yeah.
Krishna. And at the end, after our endeavor, we get love from Krishna, the prema.
Yes. So in studying the scripture, 2.8.4, I think.
Yeah.
The verse 2.8, Cheshtitam. Cheshtita also means endeavor. So how we study Bhagavatam is given in this verse. Shrinvatam Shraddhaya Nityam. So we Shrinvatam, we hear Shraddhaya, with faith and devotion, Nityam. Grinantascha Svacheshtitam. So we try to understand this subject matter with our own endeavor, cheshtitam. So when we open the books, we read a bit, we may feel like sleeping. But if we interestingly read it in this way, parasparam, with one another, then together we progress. Please repeat, nice ways. Shrinvata shraddhaya nityam grinantascha svacheshtitam. So svacheshtitam here is translated as seriously by one's own endeavor. Swa means own, cheshtitam means endeavor. If we try to study Srimad Bhagavatam like this, then very quickly what will happen? Kalena nati dirghena. Then in no time at all. And the beauty of understanding these verses is if we break down Sanskrit. Now, dirgha means what? Long. Very good. Dirgha means long. We have to bless someone, we say, dirgha ayu bhava. May you live long. Then ati dirgha means excessively long. And na ati dirghena means not long at all. So here it says kale, kala means time. In no time at all, what happens? Bhagavan vishate hridi. Bhagavan, Krishna, he becomes manifest in our hearts. Bhagavan vishate hridi. Go to the next verse. How does it happen? Pravishta karnarandhrena. Because the sound vibration of Krishna enters through the ear holes. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena. And that sound of Krishna, Krishna's names, it Swanam Bhava Saroruham. It sits in the lotus of our hearts. And when the sound of Krishna sits in the lotus of our hearts, Krishna himself sits there. And Krishna, what does he do? Dhunoti Shamalam Krishna. Dhunoti means he cleans. Krishna is a supreme cleaner. He has a transcendental broom, and in our heart, when we chant and hear the holy names, he actually is cleaning our heart. Marjanam it is called. Salilasya yatha sharad. Like in Sharad Ritu, in autumnal rains, when they drop, everything becomes nice and green. Like at the moment, like we had so much dry weather, but when the rains came, the dust got wiped out, the grass again appears green. So similarly, with this rain of Krishna's names and studying of Srimad Bhagavatam, our heart becomes nice, clean and green. And then, next one, Dhautatma Purusha Krishna. Dhautatma means then we become purified. Dhautatma Purusha Krishna, due to Krishna. Number 6. Padamulam na munchate. Then we cannot leave lotus feet of Krishna. Devotee cannot leave Krishna after that. Mukta sarva pariklesha. Then he's got rid of all kinds of bad things. Klesha. Pantaha swasharanam yatha. It's like how after long traveling, when we travel to faraway places, after some time we feel, let's go back home, isn't it? Nothing's good as home sweet home. And our real home is Golok, Vrindavan, Krishna's place. So Prabhupada used to print the magazine. What is the title of the magazine? Back Home, Back to Godhead. So Srimad Bhagavatam will take us back home, back to Godhead. But even in study of Srimad Bhagavatam, swacheshtitam, our own endeavor is required. So we're endeavoring together, but at home as well, like sometime we should take out for reading and trying to understand these subject matters. So, when Krishna sees that endeavor earnestly, then his mercy flows. Jai Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Many people are celebrating Diwali today. Happy Diwali. I think in Vedic calendar in Brisbane it's tomorrow. But anyway, we are celebrating here this afternoon. Best wishes. May everyone's hearts light up with this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.